मैं निवेदन करूंगा मैसेज टीसीएस आर्किटेक्ट्स प्राइवेट लिमिटेड के डायरेक्टर मिस्टर गुरमीत सिंह चौहान से कि वो आएं और इस एस ब्लॉक के बिल्डिंग के मेन फीचर्स, इसके कंस्ट्रक्शन में जो खास चीज़ें हैं वो आपके साथ शेयर करें, उसका विवरण हम सबके समक्ष रखें। मिस्टर गुरमीत सिंह चौहान।
A very good evening to everybody. Honourable Chief Justice of India, eminent dignitaries on the dais, eminent dignitaries in the audience, and my friends. We celebrate today the inauguration of what we call the S block, and it sits right in the, architecturally speaking, the heart of India, right next to the India Gate. And as the architect, it's my privilege to share the constituents of the building and then also the values that informed its design. Now, this is a future-ready building. It's designed on the principles of universal accessibility, for earthquake resilience, for the highest standards of fire safety. But very, very importantly, today is a very multitasking world. Humans are expected to be multitasking. A phone is expected to also be a camera, also be a music player. So this is a multifunctional block which comprises of the Delhi International Arbitration Center. It has 19 rooms, and it's a facility which benchmarks with the best in the world. It has administrative offices spread across 6 floors, lawyers' chambers, about 200 plus lawyers' chambers with shared facilities for lawyers, common meeting rooms. We also have a full court convention center on the 6th and 7th floor with a breathtaking view of the city. In addition to that, we have an auditorium where all of us are seating and car parking for 300 cars, a visitor center on Dr. Zakir Hussain Marg, because currently most government buildings don't have a good way of bringing in visitors. We also have the office of an ACP and a constabulary for 100 people, the people who really guard this premises. Now, every generation of architects has to choose some problems that it addresses. And we have addressed 3 very important problems through the design here. Number 1, contextual architecture. Our cities are losing their cultural moorings, and it's very important, especially when you build in such haloed precincts around the India Gate, that there is a certain continuity of visual expression. So what we have done is we have chosen textured Dholpur stone and textured Agra stone, and even the same meter of stone has been employed so that there is a continuity in the architectural language. Equally, we have jettisoned arches and domes and circular columns and chosen a more rectangular architecture with rectangular openings and a rectangular colonnade, much like a modern interpretation of what is otherwise a classical order. The second problem that our generation faces is climate change, and so we must design our buildings for climate change resilience. In addition to every green building which economizes on energy and water, we've actually focused on passive design, which the users can experience. So what you have is a solarium, a solar atrium in the heart of the building, which is cool in summer and warm in winter. It also has glare-free daylighting, so you really don't need to switch on lights. And you can keep your blinds up and enjoy the green view, something that most buildings in our city don't have to offer, because we've recessed the glazings deeply. The most important thing that impacts productivity is this building has 30% more fresh air. So you breathe pure air and you breathe fresh air, which impacts your productivity. Lastly, the third value that is very important is democratic architecture. The methodology that we've employed is a more bottom-up approach, where people who don't belong to a class of privilege find a voice in the design review meetings. So there is space equity. Even the Simple work desk is a delightful place with a nice view. Chambers are modest, though they are well appointed. And very, very importantly, we have common washrooms as opposed to attached washrooms. And even drivers have clean access to washrooms in the basements. Now, all of this would not have been possible. So I'd like to thank the Government of India, the Government of Delhi, and very importantly, the PWD and all the regulatory authorities that helped make this happen. And of course, my team, which is sitting there in the audience. But most importantly, you need a guiding light. And here I'd like to thank the BMCC. And we are so fortunate that we have many past chairmen and members of the BMCC amongst us in the audience who really guided me through this process. And lastly, while this is a building that the Delhi High Court fraternity would use and it belongs to the government, eventually this is a national asset. And I'd like to offer a closing remark here, and I'll seek your indulgence to focus on the 3 sentences. Public architecture has a purpose, and its very purpose is to embellish purpose with beauty. Thank you very much. This is a tribute to our beloved nation and this institution that I've become really fond of. I hope I can continue to serve this institution in the future. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Goonmeet Singh Chauhan.